Hey, how you guys doing this week? I know it's been a bit of a rough week with all the things going on in this world, in this country, in life, and so it kind of got me thinking with all the talk about this assassination with Charlie. Uh, my thought and questioning for everyone this week is, what do you believe in? What are you willing to believe in? Okay. We know that the world's going to be against us and everything, whether that's on the faith side and you believe in God and the world's going to be against you, as we're told in John 15:18. It says, if the world hates you, you know that it has hated me before it hated you. In Matthew 10:22, it also says, and you will be hated by all because of my name. But it is the one who has or, but it is the one who has endured to the end who will be saved. And the thing to remember is that we're not facing this world in something as simple as black and white and it just being what we see, this physical realm. There's a much bigger, deeper, darker entity out there that is causing all these different types of problems in the world, and it allowing you to think that it doesn't actually exist gives it more power. But whenever you're able to understand what that entity is, then you can understand how to take away their power because all the power has been given. We've been given a very strong and an immense amount of power. It's whatever we allow to have happen is where the spiritual side will get its power from. If you give in to dark forces, if you give in to drugs, sex, porn, alcohol, murder, and all that stuff, well, then you're going to invite those types of evil, dark sins and spirits in, and they will grow more powerful because you give them the power. If you allow the Holy Spirit in and the love, patience, peace, kindness, all the good stuff that the Father does, then you will grow more in that area. So Ephesians 6, 12, it says, finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Um, I think this was maybe 6:11 to 6:12. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can make your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this world's darkness, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Overall, saying what we see here on earth in this way, that's not all there is. There's a much bigger thing going on in the world that we can't see, but we know what's going on. If we allow ourselves to be able to see how things are, and that it's not that just people just wake up evil and bad. It's what we give ourselves into. So, uh, so just those were kind of the idea of bringing out that there's much more going on than what we see, and we have to press into what we want to believe. Like, what do we want to believe in? Do we want to believe that the world, had some atom that just, multiplied itself out of nothing? Or do we want to believe in a creator? Do we want to believe in ourselves and that we're actually capable of doing anything we put our minds to and trying that? Or do we want to believe that we're just going to, we're just another number in this world and we're just going to do whatever that the system of this world tells us, hey, go to school, do this, do that, follow whatever we say and don't think for yourself. Whatever you want to believe in, you're giving the power to. All right. Your self-belief is your strongest, absolute strongest by infinite amounts than anything else, is what you tell yourself to believe. And that goes into all kinds of psychology and biology and all types of studies that have been done about when people just tell themselves what to do and they actually believe it. Do they get further and do they do better? Do they actually begin to believe it? But regardless of this whole, Charlie Kirk assassination and whatnot, what we can just focus on, not politics or anything like that, but what did like he stand for? What did he believe in? He believed in doing and believing exactly what he said, and he was willing to debate it to the core. And if he was someone could prove him wrong, then great. But he was willing to go have those conversations. He believed in what he believed in this country, in God, his faith, his family, his freedom. He believed in all that. And he was will and he died because of it. He was killed because of his belief. What do you believe in? What are you willing to believe in that you'd be willing to stand up to potentially being crucified, being killed? You know, just like Christ did for us, he did what was believed to be right, which it was right because he's perfect, and he got killed. He got crucified for it. But, this thought that I've had and I've been having with a few other people this week was, just like Satan didn't understand and doesn't understand the Bible uh, to the degree that obviously God does, and he, with Christ's, sacrifice, that we all became saved, right? So with his death came this whole uproar, uprising, salvation for everyone, right? So by his one sacrifice, everyone got saved. And then, I kind of saw that similar type of, not foreshadowing, but similarities with uh with what was going on with Charlie. And people were saying, they're like, hey, you were standing up and believing in this. Now we're gonna keep the fight going, right? So one death, is not gonna, you know, is not gonna stop what's going on. It's just gonna put more fuel in the fire kind of thing. And so C.S. Lewis has this really awesome quote that I love, and it just feels right. So it goes, my prayer is that when I die, all of hell rejoices I am out of the fight. And I mean, I heard that, love it, because I mean, that's how I would like to live by. Can I be such a problem for hell? Can I be taking, or can I be, being a vessel? Because I mean, I'm not doing anything, but am I being the vessel for God that He's able to use me to help bring His children to know Him and to save them? And can I take away souls from the devil and bring them back to God? How can I be used for that? And how can I absolutely, you know, make the devil so mad that he's got to like come after me? And so that's like a personal thing. I'm like, I would love for that to be the case, because then I know that my genuine love and desire for the Father is just that. It's not just words, it's based on actions. Very scary ones, by the way. Augustine of Hippo says, right is right, even if no one is doing it. Wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it. Just because the world says something doesn't mean it's true, doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean you should do it. Monkey see, monkey do. We've been very much trained and accustomed to in this day and age and in this, here in the West in general. And so it's not great, but start to think for yourselves. Billy Graham, courage is contagious. When a brave man takes a stand, the spines of others are often stiffened. So love that one. We see it in the movies all the time when that one person stands up and then everyone backs them up, and then the good guys win and blah, all that good stuff, which is great. But how many one people have to die before the rest of us are willing to stand up and act on what we believe in, and to fight for what we believe in, and to not be pushed over and walked over by the evil in this world. David McKay, I never make a decision without asking myself, how will I explain this to my Savior when I meet him? I really, really like that one because that makes you think of everything you're doing. Do you want to say, I died for what I believed in, or I was so scared, so I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want my friends to not like me, so I didn't talk about my faith. I didn't, there was an awkward situation, or blah 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 blah, whatever your excuse is. You know, if you're at the very end, whenever you're talking and you're on trial, because we're all judged, what matters more? And that's those kinds of conversations you have to have with yourself. I love this one by John Eldridge. Every man is a warrior inside, but the choice to fight is his own. Are you willing to stand up and fight? So my questions for this, uh, for today, is, what are you willing to believe in? Not just what do you believe in, because if you believe in it, then you're going to act on it. But what are you willing to believe in? Are you willing to believe in yourself? Are you willing to believe in a higher power? Are you willing to believe in good overcoming evil? Or is it just, nah, it's not my problem. I don't want to deal with it. Nope, that's hard. No. I'm not an expert, so I can't know anything about that subject because I'm not an expert in that subject. There's no such thing as knowing something about an industry. So, what are you willing to believe in and stand up for? And what are you willing? It's it's an interesting question because now you're putting yourself on the spot of, okay, go test it. Are you willing to talk about God? Are you willing to stand in your beliefs? Are you willing to actually chase that dream that, no one else around you is doing, but you're like, I see this. I want to try and do this thing. I have that goal. I have that belief. I want to go do it. And others, bash you down maybe. And you're like, oh yeah, what, maybe I'll listen to you instead. And then lastly, uh, or pretty much what I already said, is it in the beliefs? Is it just in yourself? Do you believe in yourself? Are you willing to believe in yourself? Are you willing to do the things that it takes to prove that? I believe that I could uh, start this company, so I'm going to go do it. I believe in God, so I'm going to tell everyone I can. I believe that I'm able to, lose that 200 pounds because I believe I can, and it's going to be a long journey, which means you're going to have to suffer. And that's what we're all about. That's what this whole thing is about. Carry your cross, every single day. It's not comfortable, but you're going towards a phenomenal goal that has so much more meaning and purpose behind it than your feelings, than your momentary comfort and pleasures. Those are fine if you enjoy them when they come across in life and you can go about things doing that way. But if you listen to and give into those all the time, you are a slave to your flesh. I have a good quote on that one. I can't remember which one it was. But anyways, those are my thoughts for this week. I pray the Father is with you guys and is there with you on your journeys and that He's able to work on and heal your heart from any and all problems and that He's able to open your eyes to whatever it is that's going on in your life that you may need to work on and better yourself in. So blessings to all you guys. I'll see you all next time. All right.